Yeah, now that
Macri.
Zachary Myers, I mixed in both his last name and his first names. Now that he's left us and, he's gonna party out in Seattle and do some crazy motherfucking shit. I just wanted to mention a few things before we got on to what really looks like Mousley really wanted to fucking open her mouth. Before we get into that, I wanted you to mention, I want to get into my story. Or
basically,
my
Army, what the fuck?
No. Before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to mention about tardigrades. If you do you know what those are? They're
Water
like
bears.
What's up?
Water bears.
They're like tiny they're like tiny fucking water bears, and like
no, that's their alternate name.
That is literally their alternate name, and
sounds like a beaver.
Yeah, if you're watching the video portion of this, I will be putting this picture of what they look like on there, and that's pretty much what they look like. And they're pretty much microscopic little tiny beings, right? And they're known to pretty much survive like
anything.
Fucking anything. Literally fucking anything. They can survive being out in space by themselves. They can survive gigantic amounts of pressure underwater. They can survive being alone without food or fucking any. They can survive the harshest environments that the solar system and universe has out for them. And as of recently, May 22nd, which was so this article was updated today. But this came out last week, and scientists pretty much wanted to know before I get into this, these things are important to us because of research and in science. Science. If we can get
say it louder.
Science. Say that.
I want you to zoom in on my face.
I'm not zooming in on my face. I am very deeply sorry for anyone listening with headphones or anything
sorry about that.
max settings.
I really.
Oh my God.
You know what?
But you can't fully blame him. He's got a disease.
I have
He
osteoporosis.
That's not what he has. That's not.
I have osteoporosis.
Robles, he's got a lot going. All right.
I am.
But anyway,
this
is not about you. This is about tardigrades, the little water bears that are kind of microscopic and not visible to the human eye.
I think they're cute.
And honestly, they're not
to the human eye.
No, they're not visible to the human eye.
Have you seen them?
Size of a fucking
No, they're
atom?
microscopic animal. They're microscopic creatures. Do you realize that right now on your face there are thousands of microorganisms crawling about? Some, if you were to use a microscope or a gigantic what is it? Magnetoscope? Oh, what the fuck? A giant machine. If you were to 200 times zoom in, these things have gigantic sharp teeth and really. And as a matter of fact, not to creep anyone out listening, especially
I already
you,
feel uncomfortable.
On your hair, there are 1,000 times more microorganisms. On your eyebrows, there are hundreds of microorganisms cleaning away, eating away at dead shit. Because literally...
Are you sure you want to see this?
You can show her...
If it's trapophobia, I don't want to see it.
Because Mousley is a trapophobic, and that means that there's thousands of holes, and she
has never seen the movie Holes.
Yeah,
Seen it with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, so anyway...
I mean,
yeah,
she's afraid of Santa Claus.
at any point, at any given time, even if you shower, there are hundreds, thousands of microorganisms on things you wear, things you sleep on, things you lay on, things you sit on. They're everywhere. You can't get there. There is a micro level to the universe, and that is here and that's on you even. But tardigrades are one of those special fucking things in life that we discover, and they're like, holy shit, this fucking thing is able to survive the harshest fucking environments, freezing temperatures, like harshest pressures, space, you know? So scientists were like, hey, the tardigrades, they can survive all this, but can they survive being shot out of a gigantic fucking cannon? And so scientists are like, let's put a bunch of tardigrades in a cannon.
I feel like it didn't go like that. I feel like it went like...
Goddamn Morty, let's put a fucking tardigrade in the fucking cannon and let's fucking shoot out of it.
And they did it. I feel like that's how it happened.
You feel
Honestly.
like that exactly?
I feel like a scientist somewhere out there, like, went to like a meth lab, did a shit ton of meth, possibly a little bit of coke,
Yeah.
and you know he was like, you know, fuck it, let's put a tardigrade in the fucking cannon, and they were like, you know what, let's fucking.
So to be specific, going off of this article from the I don't know who wrote this. I'm gonna be gender neutral, but their name was Aylin Woodward, so it could be whatever they want to be, right? But the few points that they put out, right? Tardigrades can survive in extreme environments, but a new study shows they're not indestructible, because nothing is indestructible. Scientists found that these creatures can't survive speeds of more than 2,000 miles per hour when shot out of a gun. Normally, any fucking thing that is shot out at 2,000 miles per hour dies, right?
Because the amount of like force on their body.
There's G-force.
Yeah.
There's the explosive force firing out, and then there's impact.
Like, so basically to explain, if you ever been in a fucking really fast car and went from 0 to 60 in like 2 or 3 fucking seconds, that's like 1 G. That is 1 G. So imagine going from like 0 to fucking 2,000 in less than like
A split
fraction
second.
of basically a fucking millisecond. That's try and do the math. That's a
So
fuck
yeah,
ton.
anyway, but like this suggests the tardigrades that landed on the moon in 2019 did not survive, because tardigrades are not exactly from. Yes, there's goddamn motherfucking neighbors and their fucking stupid.
That
fucking,
was a 2006 Honda
We're gonna
Civic.
ignore that and not acknowledge anyone that fucking revs their engine, because we hate them. Anyway, yeah, we hate you. Yeah, but yeah, this suggests, you know, for one, it suggests that tardigrades are not necessarily always from Earth.
No.
So these are aliens, for one, and they wanted to find out if those that do crash on Earth and crash on the moon, can they survive? Do they survive? And some of them do, and it depends on the velocity that they're going. But so these scientists, what they did, right? So after being shot out at speeds under 900 meters per second, which is around about 2,000 miles per hour, that's faster than your average bullet, by the way, the tardigrades could be revived, and these little tiny microscopic things could still reproduce, survive, and do what little fucking tardigrades do. 2,000 miles per hour, 900 meters per second, and impact, and a velocity like that. They survive. But anything more than that, they did not survive.
They seem like good guys, though.
I feel like they're just vibing though. Like
They
low key, they do just be vibing.
they're just around, you know.
I feel
They-
like
yeah,
like
they're not
you know
deadly.
we're over here like, damn, these are the most intellectual, like just indestructible of like beings we've ever seen. They have power levels over 9,000, and they're over here like, you're my new friend. We're gonna have soft tacos later.
Yeah, but you know, being shot at more than 2,000 miles per hour, meant the critters they experienced 1.14 pascals of pressure on impact. That's equivalent to the pressure of about 40,000 people standing on your back at one time.
I'm a dead boy.
Yeah. So, for one, before you like try to picture this.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, I feel like at one point has had someone stand on their, like one person stand on their back and like, hey, can you crack my back? Stand on my back and like crack it, right?
Without a doubt.
Yeah, without a doubt.
If you've ever had your back blown.
Yeah, if yeah.
Sorry, the fucking crown is kicking
sexual.
In either a sexual way or back way, because for off topic, apparently, I don't want to say I was blowing someone's back out the other day.
Yeah.
But,
How did that go?
Yeah.
But like even being in one position, the person gets sore.
Did you ever
Like-
cramp up?
I mean, I always cramp up.
You cramped up?
I always cramp up.
I cramped up this morning.
Did you like continue? Did you continue?
Sometimes I
Yeah.
continue. Sometimes I continue. Like sometimes I cannot literally continue.
I
The
feel
pain is
that.
too good.
I
Or
feel
great.
that.
The pain is too great.
I felt that.
Yeah. No.
I feel like, you know, like you're like, mama didn't raise no bitch, so you just gotta.
We're going back to what we were saying, and just one average person, and is enough. 2 people on your back is enough, but the pressure. Imagine 10 people standing on you. Anyone listening, just imagine that. Can you imagine that?
Honestly,
I mean, there's some people out there
cannot.
that like.
Can you know? I don't care if you like it, but can you imagine the weight of 1,000 pounds on you?
I
No.
don't think many
Now-
people can say. that
Now,
they say
now,
that.
I'm averaging that person,
Yeah.
those people at 100 pounds each.
Yeah.
Now imagine 40,000 people on your back
Yeah,
at
fuck
one
that.
time.
No.
That is what a fucking tardigrade. That is the line at what a tardigrade limits. Fucking let's say 39,000. It can withstand the pressure of that much.
Bro, I can't even stand the pressure of like daily life.
I'm just saying, like for like if we can harness
The power of
the
tardigrade.
power of this microscopic thing, like for one, the reason that it can do such a thing is because it is microscopic.
Yeah.
And the laws of physics, the laws of the universe, they change. Not necessarily change. They're a whole lot different at these levels.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're on a different playing field here. Like, we're at a totally different like level here. Like, our tardigrade is like, I literally cannot see it. It is literally like so microscopic that my naked eye cannot see it.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, but on the other side, I do feel that it's fucking like crazy. Like, it can withstand like that amount of force. Like, if you were to put 40,000 people right on top of me right now, I would literally be crushed to death.
Yes.
But like,
and if we could, like, if we could get down and dirty and fucking get in,
oh yeah,
if we could literally harness that ability of the macro world, not the micro world, because that's where they're in, the macro, the big world that we live in, if we can learn and master that ability, imagine the
we could
things
beat
that,
Goku. We could literally beat Goku.
except we can't fly.
We can, yeah, but Goku. All right, I love Dragon Ball, but
Literally-
you know what?
literally
Goku
most of that shit
sometimes
is
he's
flying.
a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. No, my bad. Gohan is a bitch. His son, Gohan is a bitch.
All right, you're stepping into very sensitive territory.
No. You know what? I'm gonna call y'all out. I'm gonna call y'all right now.
Gohan.
Saitama, One Punch Man himself,
Yeah, okay.
can bitch slap
Yeah,
Goku any fucking day. I love Dragon Ball to death. I
No, you
love
don't.
that show. Yes,
He
I do.
just started watching
I
it.
don't
He
give
just
a
finished
fuck.
Dragon Ball.
It doesn't
He
matter
just started
when you
Everyone
started.
listening, this man literally just got into it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though.
No, it
And
does
all of a
matter.
sudden
No,
it
it
has a
doesn't
opinion.
matter because you know what? Saitama, One Punch Man,
One Punch
just
Man.
because he was a joke, doesn't mean that he can't whoop Goku's ass. He
He can
literally
try, you're
is
right.
called One Punch Man for a reason. He can fucking like Goku in a fucking
Okay,
space.
back to the
wha-
micro
wha-
motherfucking-
yeah, back.
Yeah,
back,
sorry,
back.
sorry.
We digress. You
Yeah.
digress via
Yeah,
me.
I digress.
Just look, little like anime aside, like
Yeah.
literally put this into real life fucking perspective because that's what scientists are trying to do for the real
Naruto
world.
is a bitch.
Like people are trying to harness the ability and use the genetic like fucking DNA and try to eventually like do something with it. And I'm just saying, what if you had the fucking ability, the DNA, the potential to live in space?
I feel like that would go wrong though. I feel like if we had that power, if oh, I'm sorry, I'm drunk. Hold on.
Yeah.
Crown, please sponsor us. If we had that power, right, to actually like be able to withstand that amount of force,
No, and to even live in space.
yeah, to even live in space, we would become invincible.
Okay, what do you mean by like live in space?
You don't
'Cause
need a
obviously we
fucking
can
suit.
live in fucking like
like, I
different
could literally,
planets.
No,
like-
no, like imagine
Like I
like
could literally
imagine
do
you
this.
now as you are.
I could
just in
literally like
space.
just be like, shoo, and then just fucking jump into space and be like, fuck it, I'm out, and then be in space.
Live in the space of nothing.
Yeah.
In the space of nothing. Like, I'm like, you know
It's
what?
It's
Fuck it.
unrealistic. It's
All my
unrealistic.
homies hate
You-
oxygen.
you-
We don't need oxygen.
You think it's a fucking unrealistic, right? But now spread your mind as if you were spreading your legs. Spread your mind
Hang
and put
on.
it
Hold on,
put it
hold
on the
on,
table.
hold on. No,
Put it
right.
on the table and
Alright,
just
hold
spread
on.
it.
Hold
like
on.
just spread it. Like spread your mind's cheeks and put it out there and open up that narrow path of
We
imagination.
don't need to talk about our sexual lives here.
We're not. I'm not. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
I
Like,
No,
can
I'm
get
just-
through like I understand like
You get what I'm saying, right?
traveling through space.
No,
yes, but
just
like you
like-
can't live in the space of fucking nothing. You're just gonna be floating
No,
into
but
fucking
imagine you
nothingness.
could.
Okay,
okay, so
mind is open.
I understand. Like, there was once a time where humans thought to themselves that we would never be able to fly. Like, ever. And then a couple of years later, we were like, fuck it. We flying.
Wings.
And then, boom, the Wright brothers were like, fuck it. All my homies hate gravity.
You know, apparently
and they were
there's a theory that they weren't the first, but yes.
I'm pretty sure
But
they
go
weren't. Yeah. But go off, sis. Anyways, fuck. Anyways, so I'm pretty sure that one day we could possibly somehow, for some fucking reason, we could live in space.
Yeah.
In the vast nothingness of space. And just be
Just be.
yeah, just literally just
I mean, if anything is possible, why the hell not?
also random fact, but and it's stupid, but if you were to nut in space, that nut itself would be so fast of a projectile that it could literally kill someone.
You're telling me that my earthly atmospheric nut
Yes.
speed in space would kill someone.
Yeah, so think about it. So if you were in like in orbit right now and you were to nut and you were to able to like actually live and breathe in space and nut,
Yeah.
and that projectile just went within the orbit itself, you could technically kill yourself because of the projectile and velocity.
Okay. Now, you're talking about my ejaculatory
Yes.
specimen
Yes.
going around the Earth.
Yes.
Okay. When you started this, for the record, the velocity would have to travel. My nut would have to go around the world or go through the atmosphere, and then yes, maybe. But if you are stationary in space, it would almost have no speed.
I I'm 100%, 110% sure that if you were to nut in space right now at the perfect timing, and if you were to stay stationary, it would propel you back and it would push the nut forward, causing it to go in the orbit of Earth itself, causing it for it to go at double the speed for you to come in contact with said nut. And the gravity of Earth itself would cause this nut to go at maximum velocity and actually be able to cause a hole in your body right now and kill you. Because of the gravity times velocity times the time that it actually is within orbit itself.
What article did you read this on?
Fucking science.
Okay. I didn't know you were a scientist.
His resources is trust me,
Trust
bro.
me, bro.
Smooth brain.
But that would happen. That would have to. All of that would have to happen, but it would not ever be fucking possible because
okay.
no, shut up. Because there's literally in orbit a bunch of fucking trash.
Yes.
So the nut would have to surpass through all of that. But no, my point that I thought you were getting at is that if we were in space, me and you,
Yeah.
with this equal amount of distance of like 3 feet between each other, what you made it sound like was that if I fucking came, that I would shoot my cum at you like a bullet. And that's not
No.
the case.
No.
My nut would have to travel the world.
Yes. That's okay. This is what I'm saying.
my-
All right.
Can we go
I
back to the
literally
fucking water bear?
hang on. This is literally what I'm describing. I literally just said it. If you were to nut,
Drunk
you
thoughts at
yourself,
3 a.m.
and you were to nut, and it would propel you back, and you would go at that back speed, and the nut is still traveling at that forward speed. It would start to catch more and more speed due to the velocity and the actual
Yeah,
gravity
I
of
agree.
Earth.
Anything at that speed would have
And
to.
if for some reason you were starting to go at that same trajectory that the nut is traveling in, and since it's in orbit, you would be able to technically kill yourself with your own nut. Because that nut would technically start to build up so much speed. And here's why I think that's a thing. Because actual space debris right now is actually traveling at said speed. So why not nut? Why not the actual nut itself reach
Just
that
wants to commit
maximum
homicide
velocity?
at this point.
Yeah, I'm, yeah. It's just
I want NASA astronauts to test this.
they're not gonna do this because for one, that would require them to open up their suits and put their whole lives at jeopardy for a nut. Now they could totally evacuate their trash bin and only have a nut in there.
It's just nut.
But like that's still, I feel like
Shoot it out of a turkey
yeah,
baster.
you know, or that, and I just feel like that is just it's not realistic. It's not. But
I feel like it could.
in theory, in theory, yes, I do agree with you. Realistically, I do not, and it's just because there are too many factors in it. For one, it could burn up. Like it come on. It's a nut. It's part liquid.
Okay, so then right, if it was a liquid,
Make myself a drink.
it could freeze, right? So technically, it would be a fucking ice ball traveling through fucking space, and that's literally what a fucking comet is. So
So you're talking.
my nut would be a
you're-
fucking comet. It would be a comet traveling at the speed of a fucking bullet, faster even.
You're talking about you're talking about your cum. You're comparing your cum and ejaculatory state
Yes.
as to a comet.
Yes. I would call it Rudy's comet.
It's
It's my nut
Rudy's comet.
comet.
No, I need to disagree on you on that. Like it just, being the dudes versus everything we are. I have to challenge that it's in theory possible. Realistically, with everything in the way in the atmosphere, it's not possible.
I feel like we need a legitimate NASA expert.
NASA will.
NASA will never be on this podcast. Let's be real. I mean, if we actually talk
If we
to
get
like,
anyone on NASA, if you're listening, if you have anyone like on a day off, or like if you got like a pro bono, like
yeah, like if you were just bored one day and like you weren't trying to do this for money and just for shits and gigs, please, contact us. Go to our website and email us.
dudesversuseverything.com.
Yeah, like just be like, hey, you guys are fucking stupid.
Like if at any point like you think we're wrong, or if you think at any point our fucking theory is wrong,
Oh, it's 100% wrong.
no, I don't think so.
But the nut?
But if you think our theory is wrong, I want you to fucking prove it, and I challenge you, because if you don't prove it, then that just means that we're right. And honestly, that's that. That is literally that. Because if someone acknowledges a theory but refuses to de-theorize it, I
Yeah.
guess, or debunk it, then that just means they're too scared to bring it to fruition because it's too right.
I know for a fact that I read somewhere in an article that there was gonna be like this one porn star that was gonna actually do like the first very pornography in space.
Cap.
I'm pretty sure it was cap. I'm pretty sure it was like some false fucking article, but I know that I read it. I know I did.
For a pornography
In space.
in space. I mean, I'd watch it.
I would watch
I mean,
it.
like, yeah, it'd be
Like, that's
groundbreaking
literally,
shit. Like
yeah,
that.
that'd be the first time.
It would. I mean, I'm sure astronauts, being married and all and whatever and being lonely. I don't care what the fuck you say. I know that if you've been in space with the opposite gender that you are attracted to, you have had at least sex one time. You have cheated.
Or the same gender.
Or the same gender. I am sure that at least once in the history of humankind, there has been sex in space. But will they admit to it? Probably not.
Nope.
Never.
They
Because
will not.
every astronaut that's ever gone to space has probably been married, probably has a girlfriend or boyfriend, or some significant other, or something. If they would admit to it, it would just be like, "Oh, you had sex in space. What if?" It would just raise too many questions. It would be like, "Oh, so we're spending all these billions of dollars, so you guys should just fuck around." Like,
Remember, nothing's gay on space.
why is that?
Because if we go off of Christianity, it's sin on earth, but not in space. You can be legally gay in space.
Well,
According to the Bible.
Religiously gay,
Religiously.
not
gay.
legally, because legally is like human-made.
Well, honestly, like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, what you like.
Literally,
what you like.
if you want to be gay, like we have
We literally have, like,
we
this
have
example right here.
everyone.
See that? A
Everyone,
normal person wouldn't do that.
everyone except me here is part of the alphabet group.
I'm okay. Let me rephrase that. I'm not saying that straight is normal. You know what? Fuck it. Everything's normal. But you know what? Let me say this. Strive to not be normal.
What?
Strive
I
to
am
be.
not normal.
Strive to
I'm
be.
depressed.
Doesn't matter. Strive to be.
I mean, it matters that she's depressed.
Well, obviously. But strive to be not normal. Strive to be different. You know, fuck all this, like, social construct where everyone is
Standards.
like, yeah, fuck standards. You know what? It doesn't matter who you are or what you are or what you believe in or, like, what you, like, want to be. Oh,
It
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
matter.
It
What
matters.
you're trying to say is break from the
Yeah,
stigmas of
break
society.
from the fucking stigmas. Like, in all actuality, I'm fucking tired of, like, all these stigmas of, like, what you need to be and what you need to do at a certain age or, like, all this, all that. Like, fuck that. Like, be who you want to be. Do what you want to do. Fucking if it even means like being broke at fucking 30, but you're fucking happy as shit, you know what? Fuck it. If you want to be a fucking beach bum for 30 fucking years, but it makes you fucking happy eating corn dogs on the fucking beach for the rest of your life, fuck it, dude. Do it. I know fucking bums who are happy with their fucking lives. If that's what you want to do it. If you want to start
that makes me think of kids. That makes me think of kids. You always ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up in like elementary? And they're like, oh, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a scientist or an astronaut.
Right.
You know what the fuck I wanted to be? You know what my answer was?
What did you want to be?
I wanted to join the military, and I was the only one. Everyone else wanted to be a
You're
doctor.
telling me that as a kid and as
kid.
whatever your dream was, I want to be a soldier one day.
Yes.
And you didn't do it as you didn't do it for a reason that life led you to do it. You did it for the reason that you always wanted to do it.
Yes, always wanted to do it, and honestly, I felt so alone because everyone wanted to be doctors and astronauts.
Everyone
and
around you wanted to do
firemen
something
that meant
different.
something in society.
And what I have to say to that is that part of the reason why children are so indoctrinated into thinking that they need to be something in their future is because they're always told that they have to be something.
Schools.
Yeah. Like schools and parents, back then at least, I don't know if it is today because obviously I'm not in fucking school anymore, but we were always told like, you need to be a doctor, or you need to be a fucking lawyer, you need to be something like important in your fucking life if you ever want to mean something. But
Bunch of
fuck that,
bullshit.
you know, like
Bunch of bullshit.
you don't need to. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are, as long as you are fucking happy with a job that you do, even if like it doesn't, like if you're a janitor for some fucking reason. I don't know what this fucking stigma was that started where people started hating on people like who were janitors.
When did you think or hear that there were people hitting on
Like there's
janitors?
this whole stigma like, oh, you're gonna end up a fucking janitor in a
I
fucking
think that
school.
started in elementary.
Yeah. Like people
oh,
like
look
always
at this fucking guy. He's a fucking janitor.
Yeah,
cleaning up
like-
after our shit.
My ex-wife, her brother-in-law was a quote-unquote janitor, personnel person, but their title changed. Like their title was something else. It wasn't janitor, because that's like a fucking nickname for what they actually are. Like this fucking guy, he made really good money.
Yeah.
Like they make good money being paid by the school district.
So, let's take, for example, janitors. So I'm eating Doritos Flaming Hot, and they're fucking delicious.
Doritos, if you're listening, please sponsor us.
So, let's take, for example, janitors, right? Every janitor that I have met, even when I was a child, were so happy because they had a job.
Yeah.
They were doing great. Sure, they were cleaning up bullshit and nonsense from fucking kids like me. But you know what? They were fucking happy. They loved their jobs. They loved what they were doing. They loved the fact that, like, you know, kids were just coming in. They were always saying hi to the janitor and shit like that. So I don't see this whole hate on what your job title is. If you want to be a janitor in your life, fuck it, go for it. If you want to be a computer engineer because you like all that complex shit, go for it.
Or
It
if you
doesn't.
want to be a fucking fry cook because you love food, go for it.
Yeah,
This
like
is now a culture check.
yeah.
If you have something in your life that you're passionate about, not I wouldn't say like, oh, I want to do this because I was meant to do this. I want to do this because like I was told to do this. I want to do this because like blah blah blah. Like fuck all that. If you have something that you feel like your entire life has been a calling, if you feel like in between your entire life there has been something that you are passionate about, just fucking do it.
Yeah. So what I truly think is that don't think about the money. Don't think about your parents or everyone else. Don't follow everyone else's dream. Follow your dream.
Yeah,
Like-
because then you're just gonna set yourself up for failure if you're
Yeah.
following someone else's dream.
You're gonna hate your fucking life if you follow someone else's dream. Like, let's say, for example, your parents said, oh, I want you to be a doctor, and you went to medical school, and you eventually became a doctor, but you hate medical. Now you're living that whole life fucking doing medical shit, and you're thinking to yourself at the end of the day, like, fuck, I fucking hate this job.
Is that how you feel? currently, because in the military you currently are in the medical field.
Yeah.
But you've expressed to me before that it's not for you.
It isn't.
Because
I'm gonna be honest.
you want to do something different with your life, and you will be. You are going to do something different with your life, but like, I feel like this is something personal for you.
It is something personal for me, and
Because you want
In
to.
all honesty.
You feel like it's generically the medical field. It's so open, so big, and like parents are always like, oh, you could help other people. Be something. Be a doctor. Be a nurse. Be this and that. This and that. This and that.
especially in the I don't know how it is with y'all in California, but especially in the Mexican culture, in the Hispanic culture, I'm not gonna say Latinx because you know what, we're not gonna talk about that right now. But I hate the Latinx fucking like pronoun or whatever the fuck they're calling it nowadays. But we'll talk about that later. But especially within the Hispanic or Latino culture, where like all your parents are always like, oh, you need to be a doctor or a nurse or all this if you ever want to make it in life, because that's always like something that you need to do, like all this and all that, if you want to make good money.
That's
Like-
how it is in the Native American culture too. My family is always saying, "Become a doctor, do this, do that." And I'm like, I don't
Even
wanna
with
fucking do that.
them, they're saying the same
Yes,
thing.
Yes,
I mean,
especially on the reservation, they're like, you just need to become a doctor, and I'm like, I'm not gonna spend my time and my money wasting away at something I don't want to fucking do. I want to become a computer engineer. I want to build computers. I want to do something that I genuinely love. I'm not gonna become a doctor.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've asked you this before, but like, if someone asks you what your ethnicity is, or like where are you from, what is your culture, I know you're half and half or mixed. What do you tell them? What do you tell people? What do you consider yourself?
I consider myself Native American. I honestly don't like the fact that people call us Indians. Like,
Because I mean, it's totally wrong.
yeah, you
by
know,
the way.
Indians, India, Native American, native to America. Like, there is a difference, you know.
I don't want to sound ignorant, but tribal wise, what would it be? Yeah, like
Explain. Smooth brain right now.
Navajo.
Navajo.
Yeah.
Fuck. Navajo. It's Navajo.
Yes,
Okay.
I am Navajo, and
Okay,
there
'cause
is
there's
like
other
hundreds of different tribes, but
Okay.
I am 50% Navajo, 50% white. My mom is full-blooded Navajo, and my dad is just white.
just a white man.
Yeah, but like when it
white
comes
man
to
that
like
conquered the
actual
woman.
papers, I just say that I'm Native American.
You tell people that you're good for you. Good for you. Because I mean like not to shit on your dad, but like if someone has ethnicity in their blood, I feel like they should own up to it and be proud of what they are instead of just saying, I'm a blanket statement of this.
Like, I could just say I'm just white,
Yeah.
and that's like not false.
Like
but-
imagine if we Mexicans, me and Robles, imagine if all I'm brown. What? Like what?
Like-
or black people, the black community, or like I know that most of them, or not most of them, sorry, a lot of them refer to themselves and prefer to say, "Oh, I'm black," like in the U.S. But like really, like what? Or like okay, that's a color. Brown is a color.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Myself as
We're
color.
Hispanic. We're Mexican. Like it is about the origin.
Yeah,
I know. I know.
microculture.
Yeah, microculture, and I know.
Guatemalan.
And I know.
You know,
who's
fucking,
Guatemalan?
No, Guatemalan, Mexican, Spaniard. Like there is microculture that people need to understand.
Yeah, there's for sure microculture,
And that's
I'm
where
just-
I hate Latinx. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I hate the term Latinx, and so do at least a good 60 to 70% of like true Hispanics or Latinos or Guatemalans or anyone.
like us.
They fucking hate it. This Latinx fucking bullshit was created by non-actual fucking Latinos and Hispanics.
Generation Z.
Like it was created to like create a neutral fucking like term, and I find it bullshit. I was born and raised to learn that I am just a, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's different. Like, I'm pretty sure y'all are called like Chicanos and shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't call myself a Chicano, but like, yeah,
I was born and raised to be like a Latino. I'm Latino. That's all I know. That's what I know that I am. We don't need a new fucking term. This is what we are. This is who we are. If a fucking like a fucking Puerto Rican comes up to you and he says he's a fucking Boricua, and you call him Latinx, like, that's, in my opinion, it's honestly fucking disrespectful, because you're putting all the fucking Latin like cultures into
I
one
feel like you're
fucking
minimizing
thing.
them.
Yeah, like, you're not being progressive. You are literally evolving, but backwards. Like,
They're doing the same thing that they did to, I don't want to say us, but I am going to say us. Natives.
yeah,
They just call us all natives. That's it.
like
It's just
you
generalized.
generalize them and you take away from what is like true.
yeah. Like, I hate the fucking term Latinx. It's stupid. I don't fucking like it. And then they'll be like, oh, Latinx is like a gender neutral like term that we like to use because Latinas and Latinos is just two genders. No, fuck that shit.
If they're so anal about calling people like he or she, like, just say Latino or Latina. Don't just generalize everyone with Latinx.
Yeah,
That's just calling everyone he, she, they, them, like, no.
I find it fucking. I don't give a fuck. Like, if we get fucking like really bad shit on this episode, I'm gonna say my fucking mind right now. I hate the term Latinx. I hate it.
I mean, it's just not like you're saying
hate
you
it
hate
for
a
you.
certain group of people. You hate the term.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan for certain of for a bunch of these specific terms that have come out with this newer generation of people. But and that's fine. Like, if culture decides to evolve this way, you know, so be it. But personally, I'm not a.
You still have the right to hate it.
I mean, I can sure, like, yeah, I can not like what the rest of people decide to like, and that's fine. We don't hate the people. It's just the term, the termage, the
Yeah.
wordage,
It's the
or
whole
whatever.
point about having an opinion.
Yeah.
Like ever since I first heard the term Latinx, I was confused. Like, I
did not
heard
know
it,
who they were talking about at first.
yeah, like, they were like, oh, like, we support the Latinx and all this and all that. And I'm like, what the fuck is a Latinx? And I looked it up, and it was basically generalizing every single Latin person, like, in America right now. And that's kind of fucked up. You know, like, they basically chose a term to, like, generalize every single Latin person, from Puerto Ricanos to Mexicanos to fucking, like, Guatemalans to, like, anyone who wasn't from America who had some type of Spanish type.
Latin culture.
Yeah. And, you know, they're always like, oh, we're just trying to be progressive. That's kind of fucked up to just put one term into every single Hispanic. You know?
Well, there's a difference between being Hispanic and being Latino, and it's like, I feel like Latino, or I'm just gonna say Latino, is like the bigger umbrella of things, and Hispanic
Yeah.
is more of a specific type of group, because some Latin people don't consider them Hispanics. But yeah, I just I don't know, Latinx. I'm sure that's like saying, I don't even know what I can compare it to. That native, I guess that's like saying all natives are the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's also kind of saying the same thing for white people. Like, I'll give them that. Like, they say, "Oh, I'm English," or "Oh, I'm British." Like, "Oh, so you're just white." Like, I'll give them that too. Like, stop being so. Like, I get the point of being specific, but you don't need to specify everything to the fucking T. Yeah, you're white. Yeah, you're Latin. Like, you don't, like,
Yeah,
just
you
putting
don't
labels on
you don't
fucking
need
everything.
you don't need yeah, exactly. You don't need to labelize every fucking thing.
Yeah.
You can go without being unlabeled. You don't fucking need a label. You can eat whatever the fuck you want. You can be whatever the fuck you want. You can be with whoever the fuck you want. You can identify as whatever the fuck you want. You don't need fucking labels to rule you or society. I'm just saying that's how I'm gonna go with that, and that's like maybe a blanket
The
statement.
only thing I want to be labeled as is a person. That's all I fucking care about. I'm a person.
So what I have to say about this is that, while I understand about this whole label thing, is that yes, the modern judicial system is fucked up. I'm not gonna lie, it is fucked up, and it has been fucked up.
Now you're getting into
Hang-
the law system.
Hang on. There's a reason for it.
Okay.
Because of the whole labeling thing.
Okay.
Because of the whole gay rights, as
Right.
well as like all these other different rights.
Right.
How Native Americans couldn't even have their own fucking land because of recent years.
Even though we literally took it.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
even recent years, way back when.
Like, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But in reality, if you want change, if you really genuinely 100% want change, as literally like the great Morgan Freeman fucking said, don't talk about it.
Yeah, be the change that you want to see.
Yeah, like, okay, so there was an interview, for those of you who don't know, with Morgan Freeman and this one interviewer, and he was talking about how can we go on and be progressive about black or like civil rights and everything like
I
that.
remember you showing me that.
Yeah, and he was like, just don't talk about it. And like the interviewer
I
was
think
like
I remember
stumped.
seeing this at one point, but like no one shared it to me. I just came across it, and he was just like, why make a deal out of it?
Yeah, like he was literally like, I'm not going to refer to you as a white man, as I hope that you will not refer to me as a black man.
I just see you as a person.
Yeah, like that's literally all we have to fucking do for anything and everything that's going on with like civil rights, like on anything. Just see me as a fucking person as I see you as a fucking person. Like, doesn't matter who you are, black, white, straight, gay, it doesn't fucking matter
But
who
like
you
every
are,
organization wants to know your background, wants to know your history background, wants to know where you're from or where your bloodline is from, and for what? For analytic reasons.
Yeah,
And really, in the bigger picture of things, where you might be from doesn't matter.
even today, even with progressive people, and I'm talking to you, every single fucking major college in the United States, you all love. Fuck it. I'm targeting everyone today. I don't give a fuck. You all can come at me on Instagram. I don't give a fuck, dude. Cancel me. I don't give a shit. I'm coming at you. Every single fucking college, every single university. It doesn't fucking matter. You all love to claim that you're all so diverse and everything, but yet you love to put this whole fucking like main fucking topic on diversity and everything.
Yeah.
And you choose to have these main photos as, oh hey, we're fucking diverse. We love to have every fucking race here, every fucking ethnicity here. You are not seeing the bigger fucking picture of what you're actually doing. You are not.
I feel like they're adding to the problem.
You are adding to the problem. You are literally the problem right now. I'm sorry, but like, you are literally adding to the fucking problem today. If you want to see change, stop adding to the problem. Stop trying to diversify. Start trying to bring unity to people.
Yeah, start unifying and
Yeah.
start being like, hey, stop picture or visualizing or fucking presenting like, hey, we have diversification. We have black people, we have Asians, we have Mexicans, and like stop like adding pictures of these people. And how about saying, oh, we are a unity of people, and stop stop having one point pictures of these people. Start having a collection, and instead of like being, we're a very diverse community, we acknowledge different cultures. Yes, acknowledge different cultures, but act as one. You know, instead of, in a way, segregating emotion, if that makes sense, because that's what you segregate emotion, and you make people, you force people to feel as if they're different and secluded, and make those people feel as if they should be part of one bigger community, when in reality they are already part of a bigger community. You are just minimizing it and then trying to mega-size it, if that makes sense.
Like, what I think about this is that, like, say for example, like Myers, who was just here,
Yeah.
and who actually did our intro. Shout out to him. And
Part of it.
yeah. What do you mean part of it?
Part of the intro.
So,
Anyway.
if we were in fucking combat and we were fucking taking rounds left and fucking right, I would take a bullet for him just as I would take a fucking bullet for Perez. Like, it doesn't fucking matter what color, what fucking ethnicity, where you came from, or what your fucking background was. It doesn't fucking matter, dude. Like, in the fucking end goal, be all, say all, do all, like, we are all the fucking same. The people who are trying to be like, oh, like, we need to do this for this certain rights, we need to do that for certain rights. I don't give a fuck. Come at me. I don't give a shit. My DMs are fucking open. We are all the fucking same. I understand that there is shit going on right now in this fucking, like, time. I really don't give a shit. We are all the fucking same. And if we don't start fucking seeing that we are all the fucking same, we come from the same fucking blood, we all bleed red, we are not going to progress as a fucking human race. Like, we need to start seeing that. We need to start seeing that if we ever want to see a future for our grandchildren or our great-grandchildren or our great-great-great-great-great and so on.
Okay.
We need to start seeing that we are all equal no matter what. Even if we are at a fucked up situation right now, which I acknowledge, and I understand that it is fucked up. And you know what? I am going to say our police force technically is fucked up because of our recent fucking actions. I'm not going to say that it isn't, because it is. It really is fucked up because we decided to see only race.
Yeah.
We need to start seeing that we are all fucking equal no matter what. And we need to rise up. We need to see that we can all technically collect together and build an infrastructure to build a future.
World peace.
We need to build that infrastructure for our future generation.
Yeah.
We need to come together. We need to build that fucking, like, housing, that fucking building, that fucking tower
I agree.
that oversees our future fucking generation. Like, if we continue all this hate, if we continue all this fucking, like, tragedy and all this fucking, like, war and fucking, like, different fucking perspective, we are never gonna see the light of day in the future days. And that's all I want to see. Even if I'm on my fucking deathbed and fucking, like, looking out the window and seeing the fucking clouds in the sky, if I don't see a fucking, like, change in the future, then I know that our generation did something wrong.
Yeah, I feel like you're really speaking from the heart here.
I
and,
am.
Like, you're really going on a huge tangent here, and then, like, I feel like this has really progressed from, like, one small topic to, like, a huge worldly topic. And I mean, it's not something that can be changed in a day or two or maybe even a year.
Yeah.
And I totally and I feel you, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying. Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, yeah, there has to be change. There has to be there's things. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But I do feel also that I feel like this also spun out, and I actually appreciate it because I don't, people, I feel like people don't usually see the passionate side of what people feel deep inside, and I can like see that you are really passionate about what you've been speaking about, and that's pretty great to see. Yeah, I'm glad that you spoke on that. Thank
we
you.
started talking from water bears to equal rights.
Yeah, this went off from the tardigrades to, I mean, everything that you just mentioned, and like, there's nothing wrong with that, and like, that's great. That's great. It's definitely, as you know, as well, if you don't know, and you've ever, if somehow this is the first episode, or if somehow you skipped to this specific spot in this podcast, just know that none of this is ever scripted. None of our episodes are ever scripted, and you probably know that if you've ever been listening. But
we talked about buttholes on the first.
Yeah, we talked about buttholes, and specifically, yes, buttholes are an amazing thing. I will say that I will vote
for buttholes.
I will advocate for all rectums.
I love my butthole.
Buttholes are great. You got to take care of them. If you don't take care of your butthole, you will be, you might be in pain, we might, deep dive into like a personal story. You guys were just looking at each other like, you guys, like, have you guys experimented with buttholes?
No comment.
You guys are not going to comment on that?
No. For those of you
for those of you just listening, this means that they have indeed experimented with buttholes. Just know that when you know these two people, or with anyone in general, whenever they say no comment, that means whatever you were thinking and whatever you were probably insisting is probably true. Just so you know.
I don't want to comment.
It does not matter. I do not care.
I'm literally gonna go pee right now.
No.
I gotta go pee.
Well, while Rolbez decides to go take a urinary break, I will get back with Mousely here. And well, anyway, Robles may or may not have gone to take a piss right now. He said he had to go take a pee, and now he's back with us. And also, Mousely is gone. She had to do personal things, and she won't be part of the rest of this episode. But we are on a 1 hour and almost 12 minutes now, and it's going great. This episode, if you haven't noticed already, is split into multiple parts.
Yeah, and it is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not sponsored
But
by
if Raid
anything.
Shadow Legends, you want to sponsor us, because I know you sponsor literally everyone and every fucking thing. Go ahead.
Literally, if you are anybody or anything or any,
I've tried the game, and this is probably going to get rid of our sponsor from them.
Just know that
They're a shit game.
we're no
literally
longer talking about Raid Shadow Legends. If you are anybody, literally, if you want to support this podcast, please support this podcast and sponsor us.
Yeah.
You can go on now that we have a Patreon.
Yeah.
Patreon.
I forgot about that.
We have a patreon.com/DVE, literally patreon.com/DVE. Or if you want to support us directly through our website, dudesversuseverything. That is DUDESVSEVERYTHING.com. Dudesversuseverything.com. And then if you click on the menu, and then if you see the part where it says support, you click on that, and then you get taken to a PayPal URL that is strictly meant for donations.
That is only directed towards his bank account, by the way. I don't get paid.
That's not true.
No, that is literally true.
Well,
I don't get paid.
We have
Not 1 cent?
We don't get paid. We have not gotten paid.
Every
No one-
item that was purchased on the store, literally, like, not 1 cent. Where's that at?
You want to know where it's at?
Where it's at?
It's non-existent because no one has yet to date bought anything from our store.
Yeah. So
as a matter of fact, anything that has been from our store and is now in person, I bought that.
Yeah. So where's that money?
I bought that with my
so
money.
It went back to you.
It's my money that
Yeah,
I
whack.
spent.
I call whack.
So you want me to spend money on our things and then pay you for it?
Yeah.
What? No, that's not how. That's
No,
not how
no,
any
we're
of
not,
this
we're
works.
Not, we're not talking about that.
But
That's
no,
for our
if-
marketing team.
Yeah, that is for the marketing team. That is in development, so we can't really talk about that.
Yeah, we can't talk about
Yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
classified Area 51 shit.
Yeah, exactly. But no, seriously, we've been doing this for free. But we wanted to get bigger out there.
Yeah,
If
but-
you want to follow us on Instagram,
Yeah,
follow us on
actually.
Instagram at DVE Podcast. Reddit, Dudes versus Everything. On the internets, dudesversuseverything.com.
On the internets.
Yeah. On Patreon, if you want to directly support us and get
If you're on
actual
a Russian
benefits.
server right now, go to https.
What was that last part? Oh, okay, because that last part sounded like you said something else.
Really?
Yeah, it sounded like you
Yeah,
said
you wanna
something.
go into
You
that?
sounded like you said something else, but I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
But what I will get into that is seriously like we want to create, we want to make this podcast something great. We want to make.
We want to do some really cool / stupid shit. That
We
like-
literally want to make this shit big.
Yeah, we want to do some really cool stuff. And you know what? While we do have some funds to do some shit, we don't have
These
a
funds
lot.
are literally from our regular day job, which is the military, and that's not much.
Yeah, and you know what? If you support us, I'm not gonna lie. I will literally name every single person that supports us or that follows our Patreon. I will literally.
And to be specific, if you go through our Patreon and pay for that membership, part of that is an actual shout out. So
Yeah.
you get shouted out, you get acknowledged, but just check it out yourself. So
And if you actually have listened this far into the podcast, I want you to comment beans, but every letter is spaced out. BEANS. Beans. What the fuck?
and as an incentive, as a fucking incentive, because the last time we ever actually tried this experiment out and like asked you listeners to comment on this,
Yeah.
no one commented
one.
on it. No one commented.
Not one.
We got bots that
Yeah.
if you want to get promoted, do that. Follow blah 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 blah. No, if you comment,
We got those bots that say MIQ and then like you have
Yeah.
to click on it.
yeah, exactly. If here's your incentive. Here is your incentive. Listen carefully.
20% off.
You will get a discount.
Oh, what kind of discount?
You will get a discount. I'm thinking. You want to pick?
I'll pick
You'll pick
45%.
percent.
That is a lot. That if you're listening to this far, that is a lot. 45% on our merch.
And
Actually, we
Per
just
person.
we just got a new design. Remember that Fiverr shit that I just
has
that-
it came in?
It did. I'm not gonna lie. In my opinion, it does look pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how they put the logo. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna crop that out. But to the person whoever did it, if they are listening, because I did tell them about
Somehow.
the podcast. I did tell them about the podcast. Like, hey, listen to us. You gotta mark it somehow. I didn't like how they put the fucking like our name on it, so I cropped everything but the name.
Okay.
It actually looks pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
You think so?
It looks pretty cool in my opinion. If you want to see how it looks, go ahead and check our website.
We have not uploaded that new design.
Yeah,
yet.
we will.
We will.
If-
Yes.
We both collectively think that it is actually worthy to be on our merch.
Yes, but besides that, for this real incentive, you heard it here. Rudy said that he will cover 45%.
Yeah.
If you fucking comment B space E space A space N space S on our most recent post on
Watch
our
literally
Instagrams.
everyone say beans.
I doubt anyone will ever actually say the beans.
Yeah.
I just highly doubt it. We get listeners, right? But I feel like most of our listeners right now, and I'm talking about you right now, listening to this, you're fucking shy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you shy?
Stop. I'm not gonna call you a bitch because you know what? I love you.
You're not. You're just shy.
You're
for
shy.
some reason.
Like literally, just like
It takes a couple seconds,
Yeah.
and you know what that does?
What?
That gives us interaction. That gives us that lets the social media people, internet, big major stuff know that, oh, hey, people are actually commenting, interacting with this.
That lets
page.
Mark Zuckerberg know that, like, hey, these dudes are doing good.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Because now Instagram is owned by Facebook, and we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Reddit, we're on Patreon, we're on the internet.
We're on everything.
We're literally except for Twitter. We haven't been to Twitter.
We should make a Twitter because I feel like all the alt girls are on that.
alt girls.
Yeah, alt girls. I called it out right now. I called out everyone on social media like earlier. So you know what? I really don't give a shit. I'm calling out all alt girls.
If you are an alt girl on Twitter.
If you have an alternate personality on Twitter, which most likely you do, I feel like we should make a Twitter.
No. We will probably make a Twitter if you're listening to this. But no, like you. Speaking of women,
I love when women.
I love when women too,
Yeah.
but I do not love when women
Criticize men on their penis size.
Yes, I hate that.
I hate that too because
But that's
you know
not what I'm
That
talking
is
about. We'll talk about that some other time.
that is body shaming.
That is body shaming, and you should be ashamed of yourself for body shaming anyone. No. A certain person that you know of that I am talking with last night or whatever, I don't know, I guess for the first time, like, I was told that, no one has ever told me that they are willing to end a friendship for me. So without, I will never name names on here or whatnot. But this person, who's very far or whatever, said that I am worth it, and then so me being very, very confused, I had to question them. I'm like, what do you mean? Because this started off with that, because I personally have never met this person in person. I know this person via a friend. So they started the conversation off, I guess, like, hey, like, what do you think of me? What do you know of me? And I'm like, okay, I felt like it was a trap at first, and I was like, this is probably a trick question of some sort. And they're like, no, I like literally, like, what do you think of me in general, and what do you know of me? And so I took into consideration everything that I, to this date, know of this person through the conversations that we've had, and I reworded it into a personal way, and I told them, like, what I thought of them, of this woman, and I told them what I think of them and what I know of them. And then, she expressed that, like, this person, she was like, I don't know if I should love or hate this response, because you were able to get it so pinpoint to who I am. And that, I mean, for one, I'm proud of that, because that just goes to show that I fucking pay attention. And this person and I, we're not anything. There's nothing there in the aspect of relationship or anything. This is like, nothing has actually been solidified or developed. This is a conversation, for record, so just so that everyone knows. I'm still single. No one has actually taken me and handcuffed me and owned up to that part. But in development parts, this is, I guess, in development or whatever. I don't even know how to, like, name it. Talk. If you're single, you should definitely take advantage of talking to several people, right? And this is just one of those people.
Yeah.
And so she said all those things, right? And I, after what I said to her, and so I was like, hey, you know, like, what about me? What do you think of me? What do you know about me? Like, what is what that? And you know, it was pretty late last night, and so she never got back to me. I'm pretty sure she was drinking at some point, and like, to this moment, I don't know. So, my point is that it just took me by surprise that someone said that I was worth them cutting off a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
No one has ever said that to me, and like, I took it personally because I wouldn't cut off a friendship for someone else unless, like, I don't know, unless I was already deep in that relationship. Like for example, me and you, Robles, we're platonic. We're guys. We don't like, we're not in love or anything. We're not like homo in that way, right? But like I would if somehow our history, like I went through some shit and I saved your life or you saved my life, and someone was like trying to get in my life, I would cut them off for you. But you know, and that's that example. So that's why I'm saying it took me by surprise, because nothing physically has ever happened between this person, and then this person tells me that I am completely worth no matter what. And I don't know, it just took me by surprise that they said that they're worth cutting someone off for me.
So what I have to say about that is that we talked about this earlier, yesterday actually, is that I don't think I could cut like you off over someone else, because we did talk about this yesterday. It was kind of like within our homie check.
2 days ago.
Yeah, but honestly, man, you've been there. You've been there through literally like my ups and downs. For those of you who don't know, I was literally engaged. I was engaged, and then you know, shit happened.
You know, I forget about that.
Yeah,
you were actually engaged.
Yeah, I was engaged, and you know, I'm not the type of person to talk shit about literally anyone. So I'm not gonna talk shit about anyone, because you know what? Like, at the time, you know, I was in a very, very like serious relationship, and I was, you know, engaged. I was genuinely in love with that person, to be engaged with that person, and I don't regret anything that happened within that time. But you know, shit didn't work out. Shit did not work out, because of many months of me thinking about it, and me thinking about that relationship. But if that person were to say like, hey, it's either him or me, I would, even though I knew that person like longer, I would genuinely say that I would pick you over them, because
You would pick me.
yeah, because it's, I don't know what it is. It's that type of like platonic love over like, and like, I don't give a shit what anyone says. It's that like love over like a friend. It's that love over like a platonic friendship between someone that you have, that no matter what happens, like, you'll know that they'll take a fucking bullet for you. They'll fucking like die for you. Like, they'll.
But you're, for the record, you're talking about
My
even
ex.
someone that you were engaged with.
Yeah.
They, to this, like, I'm flattered.
Yeah.
I'm honored.
Like, even though I was fucking engaged to that person, even though I was like with them for 8 years, 8 fucking years.
God damn.
Yeah, I was with them for a very long time.
8 years.
And I don't regret it. I don't regret the time that I was with them because it was at the moment time like it was good. It was really good. And
Knowing you and knowing everything that you told me about this previous relationship, well, I don't agree with that. I know that not all of it was good.
so
You can't. I just want you to like not lie to you. I just don't want you lying to yourself and saying that 100% of it all the time was good.
So I will admit, not 100%. I mean, you can't 100% be happy with the person, no matter who you are.
Of course,
It doesn't-
like there's nothing that's
Yeah.
ever 100%.
Like 100%, I was not happy with them. But I can say that for the most part, I was. You know, like they were a really great person. They were. I mean, I was literally willing to get married with them. So that obviously has to say something about that. But even then, you know, even at the time, I was still willing to choose you, fucking Jesus, over them, no matter what. Because you know what? Like, it's that type of fucking, like, platonic fucking love that you choose over somebody that I don't know how to fucking explain it. Like, I know we talked about this in the previous episode that will never be released because it got fucking deleted.
Yeah.
But, you know what, man? Like, I'm gonna fucking miss you. I'm gonna miss you when you're gone. I'm gonna miss you when you fucking leave, and I'm not gonna be able to see you again. And it's gonna be hard. But you know what? It's the way of fucking time. Like, not everything is forever. And that's what sucks. That's what part of humanity is like. Like, we have to understand that not everything is fucking forever. Like, we choose not to think about it at the time. We choose to think like, oh, this is our fucking lives and this is what it is. But we never really dwell on the fact that time is our construct and we need to choose to follow it or dwell within it. And I guess I chose to like follow it and realize that like, oh, this is just how my life is. But I realized that, you know what? Like, you, Jesus Perez, you're just, I guess, this part in my life that I will forever remember and realize that you were a huge impact on my life. Like, I was there for a lot of great things that happened in your life. And when I say great, I don't necessarily mean like happy things, because there was a lot of sad shit that happened in your fucking life, you know. There was you know, hardships. There was fucking divorce. There was fucking like
there was a lot. There was more than divorce.
yeah. There was literally you losing your dog, and I think that was
I
the
think my
saddest
dog.
fucking thing.
I think if anything, in retrospect, me losing my dogs were probably the saddest things ever.
Yeah, like there was a lot of shit that fucking happened in like your life, and sometimes I like to think that like even though that was part of your life, that was part of my fucking life, my timeline. Like, I know it's selfish at times to think, but sometimes I think like even though it happened in your life, it also happened in mine. It happened in my timeline. It happened in the life that I chose to live. It happened with the choices that I chose to choose. Like, it happened with the things that I chose to choose. Like, I chose to like be your friend. I chose to be in your life. I chose to have you as a close friend. And it may seem selfish at like while I am recording this, but I chose to have you in my life. I chose to have all your personal things that happened, and it affects me. It affected me regardless of what happened in your life. And I am honestly happy to say that it did happen in my life, because honestly, like, you were a very close friend that I could genuinely call my brother. I could genuinely call you as though as I think that you were a part of my blood. Like, that you genuinely happened. Like, if I were to say that my life happened as a movie, you were part of that main fucking storyline that happened in my life. And even though that you only happened within, what, 4 fucking years of my life, which I don't know how long it's gonna fucking happen,
Yeah.
it made a huge impact no matter what fucking happens from here till fucking then. So, you know, I like to think that you were a very important fucking, like, thing. You were a very important blimp. You were a very important fucking, like, I don't know how to explain it.
You don't have to. I mean, it took me by surprise on Thursday, a few days ago, you know, not being Saturday, but like it took me by surprise today because like I'm not used to people admitting their care or their affection or their support for me so openly as you have, and you know, like, if I didn't have the support system I had, you know, I obviously wouldn't be here today. And like this podcast, as it is now, and as everyone's listening now, like it wouldn't be the same without you, and it wouldn't be the same without me. And it just, thank you for expressing all that, and it's I really appreciate you expressing that, and I'm surprised at like the level and the longevity that your emotions go for. Thank you. I love you, and that I think I'll always appreciate everything that you affected me and everything that you stood for in my life, and even the fucking horrible, stupid, like annoying parts that you are, because no one is perfect. Like, in acknowledgement of that, in acknowledgement of the bad amongst the good, like it's been a good long run, and I'll you know, like, you'll always be part of my life, man. Like like whenever we do leave this place that we are in now, like this podcast, this friendship, it's never gonna end. I'll always appreciate you for who you are, even though you are kind of shitty sometimes, and I am kind of shitty as well sometimes.
Most of the time.
And like, even in that, like, I would still want to have you around, you know? And
shout out to
Enrico Serrano, who was our mentor a few years ago. Yeah, and this is your homie check number 2. If you know of someone that is struggling or isn't struggling, just check up on them. Like, check up on the people that you call your homies, you know?
Yeah, I had like 2 homie checks yesterday, or 3 fucking, like, I don't know if you remember fucking Gordon.
I remember.
Yeah, he fucking, like, he was texting me because Renfro was also texting him, and like, we all started fucking, like, talking to each other and shit. We were having fucking homie checks, like, hey, you good? Like, you know, how's your life? Like, are you alright?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, fucking Gordon was a friend of ours, like, years ago. And, you know, every now and then, like, we still check up on each other, you know, like, it's good to just check up on each other. Like, even if, like, you knew them for a very short amount of their time, maybe, you know, you impacted on their lives just as much as they impacted on yours. Like, you know, just check up on them. Just just make sure that they're okay. Like, realize that maybe if it was just a small part of your life, it was a huge thing on theirs, you know? So just check up on them.
Yeah, you never know what someone's going through.
Yeah.
And you never know how they'll react to holding on to you. So
Yeah.
make an impact, you know, be the change that you want to see. And if you see someone struggling, you know, help them out. And
I'm drunk.
And you know, I'm probably drunk around there too, but I'm still mentally there enough to let you guys know and remind you guys, if you are going through any abuse, there are lots of resources everywhere.
Such as 1-800-273-8255. And that is, again, 1-800-273-8255. I'm drunk and I still know that fucking number by heart because
And that is the suicide hotline.
Yeah, I've had to call that number. I've had to call the veterans hotline because, you know, I've been in very dark places, and I know that a lot of people listening or will listen have and will be in dark places. And you know what? There is no shame in calling or in like talking to anyone
Or reaching out.
Yeah.
Or reaching out to anyone.
That you need help. Like, we all need some help sometimes. Like, I grew up in a very like strict fucking situation where like you had to like fend for yourself. But you know what? Fuck that. Like, sometimes even if you think you're the fucking like the hottest shit, you need help. So you know what? It doesn't matter. Like, fucking reach out, fucking talk.
If you want fucking help, go get it.
Yeah.
Like, not to sound like an asshole or anything, and not to sound inconsiderate of the situations that are out there, and that like you are afraid, and you're afraid of, like, you know, what's the word where you do something and you're afraid of something happening back to you.
Proud?
No. Like the actual phrase of like something happening to you and something happening back to you.
I mean, that's basically pride.
No, I'm not talking about pride, dude. Like, I'm talking about you doing something and you being afraid of something happening to you. What is that word of something happening to you?
Consequences?
Besides that word.
Stigma?
No, okay, well, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Whatever the fucking word is. Now, if you have something and you're afraid of the consequences. The fucking consequences.
Ew.
Like, take a moment and realize that everything else will be better once you take action.
Everything heals no matter what. Like,
no matter where you are, no matter what your situation is, there are people and there are groups that want to help you, and they will protect your privacy. And if you are in a domestic abusive relationship or environment, just know that there is the hotline, the national hotline, and it is 1-800-799-7233. That is 1-800-799-7233.
like there's literally a group for everything. Sorry, I'm drunk.
And and the sexual assault hotline is 1-800-656-4673.
Say that again.
1-800-656-4673. That is the sexual assault hotline.
Like, if there's a group for fucking extreme bowling, there's a group for you. Like, that's a terrible analogy, but you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't matter what you're going through. There is a group for it. Like, if you have a fucking porn addiction, there is literally a group for you. If you have a problem with like an abusive fucking relationship, there is a group for you. If you have a fucking addiction to Mario Kart and Nintendo 64, there is a fucking group for you on Reddit. And like, it doesn't matter who you are. Reach out for help. Like, I know that sometimes our pride fucking blinds us because in all honesty, that is my biggest problem. I have a lot of pride when it comes to like problems that come with me, and I tend to not fucking like go for help. But you know what? Sometimes we need that fucking like humility. We need that humility in our lives to realize like, hey, we are not perfect. We are not perfect human beings. We are not perfect in who we are. And sometimes we need fucking help. So do not feel bad if you need to reach out for help. Because honestly, like, it is necessary. It is 100% necessary if you are at literal rock bottom. Because sometimes it is hard to reach up. Like, there's that old saying where, like, oh, there's only one way to go from rock bottom, and that is up. But sometimes that step to go up, even that first step, is hard. But there are groups, there are people who have been in your shoes. There are like literal whole fucking groups that have been to that first step, that have taken them years, even decades, to get to that first step. And there will be people that will help you. You just need to take that first step within yourself to reach out.
Exactly. And that about ends today's gigantic episode. Separated into a couple parts.
Yep.
And
If you've made it this far, I just want to say it. We love you. It doesn't matter who you are, what you love, who you love.
we appreciate every part of you.
Yeah, like, you know what? If you've made it this far, even if you made it to just the first minute, I'm going to say it, like, you
wouldn't really know if you did, because you wouldn't
Yeah.
be really listening to this part. But if you did somehow
Yeah.
in spirit, you'd be listening to this.
Yeah. You have made it. Like, even if you don't listen to this at all, for some fucking reason.
We're talking to you spiritually out there.
We are talking to you telepathically?
Yeah.
Telepathically. We like you. We love you. We thank you. And I don't know what it is. I just feel very lovey right now.
It's the alcohol.
It definitely is the alcohol. But, you know what? We appreciate you for who you are and what you are. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what you do, what you love, what you like. Even if you're in the closet at the very back end of it, if you're out of the closet, it doesn't fucking matter. We love you.
We love every fucking single person that decides to click on Dudes versus Everything, that gives us a fucking chance to give us a chance to be listened to. If you have ever thought of us in any good positive way, and you know what, even if you didn't like a certain part of it, like even if you just gave us some criticism, I guess, you are appreciated. Yeah. You are needed. You are loved. We appreciate you, and like we hope that you continue to listen to every and any part of our episodes, because we do this for you. To this day, we haven't been paid. Like,
yeah,
and we have fun doing it. We enjoy doing it, and like, there's news out there that we hope that if you haven't heard of, we hope that you get from us.
Yeah,
and like, if you're somehow uncultured in any way, like, we hope that you culture yourself listening to us. We hope that somehow listening to us, Dudes versus Everything, somehow that visiting our website, visiting our Instagram, visiting any of our fucking platforms and networks, we hope that benefits you in some way or shape or form. Because if it doesn't, then like there's no point, because we do this for you. We don't do this for us.
I think genuinely 100% I would literally like break down if I saw someone like come to us and ask for like help. Like if they actually came to us on any social media platform, no matter who you are, even if you have like an anonymous account or an alt account, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, we're not gonna fucking blast you or say your username or anything like that.
We're not gonna be like, Dave,
this fucking guy,
Dave
right?
Jones,
like the other day, this fucking guy, he said he was fucking crying or something.
We're not gonna do that.
No, fuck no. Like, especially if like you're like talking about like really personal shit, we're not gonna blast you out. But if someone actually genuinely did like come to us, like that would be a huge shocker, you know? Because like they're coming to us, like a couple of fucking degenerates who are like, who talk about stupid fucking conspiracy theories and shit. Who fucking like talk about stupid shit and get drunk on these fucking podcasts, you know? Like that would genuinely like it would be a huge change, you know? Like it would be a shock.
Would you feel like you are actually affecting someone's direct life?
I genuinely would. I feel like I made an impact. And it's not that I 100% like I need to, but it would be a huge benefactor to my life. It would make my day. It would make my day that someone actually came to us, even though we are clearly not. We're clearly not fucking licensed to do this.
For the record, we are not we're not psychological. You know, we're not therapists. We're not psychological doctors.
We talked about buttholes one episode, so that has to tell you something.
Know, we're medical professionals to a certain point, but we're not. You know, we're not financial advisors. We're not, emotional advice.
Crypto.
But we definitely recommend investing in definitely crypto. We definitely,
especially because it had that fatty dip.
Yeah, dude, we're not anything legally.
Algorand hit 92 cents today.
Like if you're out there and you listen to us and you take our word for everything that we say, we appreciate you. But just know you can't hold us liable for anything.
That's really fucked up. Like, hey, like, but I don't know,
We're just saying because there's no literal path, and that is to save our ass in case you get mad for any fucking point. I am stating that you cannot sue us for anything because it is up to you to look up anything that you own or have or want. So that's that point. That's just fair. That is fair.
But if you really genuinely have a problem and you for some fucking reason decide to talk to us because you want our genuine opinion, go ahead, man. Or woman. Or whoever you are.
Or just person.
Yeah.
Human. Like, we literally mean it. Like, if you don't want to turn to anyone else, like if you want to give us a chance and talk to us as regular people, like, do that.
We probably will take some time to think about it because you know what? We have our problems. We have our genuine fucking problems that we're going through life. But you know what? We are going to try 120 fucking percent to try and help you. Regardless of what fucking situation you're going through. Because we genuinely care about our listeners. We care about our now viewers because we're on YouTube. And every other fucking social media.
Wherever you want to listen to us or see us, we are on there.
Yeah. Doesn't matter who you are, what you listen to.
But with that being said, Thank you for every second that you decided to listen to us.
Yeah.
Thank you for every view that you have decided to give us. Thank you again. And with that, good morning, good afternoon,
good evening, and good night.
And stay tuned for next time. And we apologize once more that this episode and parts of this episode, because it is separated, and as you may have seen by now, did not come out on Thursday. This is still the anniversary celebration because we did start last year in May, and it's crazy because so far it's been 1 year, and this is gonna go on for many more. So we thank you for being you, and
we like you, we love you, and we appreciate you. And honestly, I don't know if you have literally been the OG, listen to our first podcast all the way till here. We definitely fucking appreciate you. Holy shit.
Yeah, we want to know, if you fucking listen to, seriously, I'm not even asking you. I'm telling you to fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Send us a message and tell us that you've listened to every episode.
Yeah.
That'll make our year.
Also, comment beans. with
Beans.
every space.
Like we said, if you heard that message, the incentive earlier was, if you comment on the most recent post, you will get 45% off.
45%.
You have to comment B space.
Like,
E
think
space,
about it. If
A
that was
space, N
$100
space.
merch, that would be like what? Fucking $55.
Well, if it was 100, yeah,
Big maths.
$55
Quick maths.
off, and you would.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of shmoney.
Well, no, if it was 45% off, that would be $45 off. If it was $100 merch,
So that would be 55.
yeah, you would pay 55. Yeah, instead of $100. That is a lot of money.
So, again, we're not doing this like primarily for monetary reasons. We're doing this because we fucking genuinely love you guys.
Yeah.
So to end the night,
And we think the fucking merch that we have is fucking dope. All right,
it's pretty dope.
it's fucking cool. All right, it is
We spend a lot of time researching.
a lot of fucking time.
So to end this night, we like you. We love you. Good morning. Good evening.
Good
fucking-
night.
Good-
And stay fucking tuned to next episode because you're great.
Yeah.
And we're great. We're awesome. We matter. We matter more. But like because
We
we're
matter
making-
more than you. We don't.
All right. Goodbye.
Uh-huh.